March.
Now the protesters said, no, we now want you to Ruto must go. So Museveni understands that this protest may start around Parliament. But since he knows it's the problem of Uganda, that's eventually where it will end. So Parliament, I think, is just to spark off protests eventually to deal with the real problem affecting Uganda. And that's why Ruto, in his own narrow thinking, he thought when you don't sign the finance bill, when you resolve your own cabinet, matters will end. They are saying actually, Ruto, you must go yourself. Even in Uganda, and I hope this protest will happen, they will eventually end with Museveni because Museveni is the problem.
So nze ndowooza nti abavubuka because ffenna tubadde bavubuka generation tugivaamu buti kati tugibalekere. Naye nze ndowooza nti okwekalakaasa kwaffe okwabeerangawo era okubeerawo era kwe tutera okukola kubeera guided, kubeera n'omulamwa. Emiwatwa mingi, amawulire we gali, media weeri, avenues nyingi we ziri ez'okuexpressingiramu corruption. Ekyokubiri, ensi eno njagala gigamba ekintu kimu. Bafunye omukisa nti eri abeexposinzeeko nti bano bali corruption eri wano, corruption eri wali. Naye mu myaka gyonna gye tubaddewo naffe nga tetunajja mu parliament, corruption ebaddewo. Mujjukira n'okujjukira nti emyaka egiwedde tubadde tumaakinganga nga tukola march against corruption. Buli omu abadde akaabira president ng'agamba corruption. Abantu bangi nammwe mikwano gyange aba media, emirimu egimu gyabalema okufuna, mwasoma ne mwagala okufuna emirimu ne bagibamma because babasaba obukadde bw'ensimbi bwe mutalina. Ng'ate singa yali ng'eri ground eri leveled mwali badde ng'emirimu egyo mwagifuna.
Kakati okukunga abantu tekuteekesa nti mubaka palamenti eka yakunga. Ng'owamawulire wakunze teekabaawo ku vidiyo yo teekeyo banne mbayita ng'owamawulire mbayita mbakunga mujje mwekalakaase. Wagigolooza nti okwekalakaasa opposition yeka yalina okukola. Nze ku ssente ze batwala za opposition yeka. Kubanga ate n'abantu bano abajja wano okwekalakaasa balina double standards. Ebiseera ebisinga bagamba eyo palamenti nfu eri corrupt, speaker corrupt. Kati oli agamba nti tuleeta ekiwandiiko ekivumira obuli bw'enguzi tukitwala ewa speaker gwe bateekako omuli w'enguzi. Kiteese n'ababaka ba palamenti abali b'enguzi foba tuyita bajega. Kakati naye nze ng'omukulembeze sisobola kubeera awo ne mbavumirira nti waaye tojja mugende, nze nange nina wange we neekalakaasiza. Nze ntera okugamba abantu nina we neekalakaasiza wemmanya nti wano nja kwekalakaasa nkomewo. Bw'oba ogenze ne weekalakaasa, that is your duty nga munansi. Naye ate okwekalakaasa kuleme koma ku palamenti. Njagala kubalaba nga mwekalakaasizaako ne ku State House nga mwekunga muga tugenda ku State House kubanga amasiga gali 3 agafuga eggwanga. Tulina ekigali ya judiciary, palamenti ne executive. Njagala mugende nga cabinet etudde nti bannansi beekunga luno balumba State House. Bwe muvaayo eyo mwekunge mugende mu judiciary. Naye bwe munaagamba nti mwekungira ku palamenti nga mutulowoozesa nti ffeffekka wano enguzi eri wano wokka.
Mubumbimbi Uganda etambula nga tusomya amateeka amalambulukufu. Uganda si ya Mwami Museveni, Uganda si NRM, Uganda ya bannayuganda. Kati bannayuganda baba nga balina ensonga yonna gye balinamu obutali bumativu bwabwe ne bavaayo okulaga obutali bumativu bwabwe ku luguudo. Baba bakkirizibwa. Ebitongole by'okwerinda byandibadde bifa kimu kyokka kyakulaba nga abantu abo baweebwa ddembe lyabwe n'ebbeetu lyabwe nga tebafunye kutaataaganyizibwa kwonna kubanga era betuwulira boogera kubanga bali ku mitimbagano. Bituwulira batera okwogera baga kulaga butali bumativu bwabwe baddeyo ewaabwe. Tebalina nsonga ndala gye bakoze gye babikisinze. Mwami Museveni bwe yabadde ayogera ebigambo bye yamikisinga wakati wa rioting ne demonstration byawukana. Bano baga bagala kulaga butali bumativu bwabwe n'ensonga zaabwe bazikoze ki bazirambise. Ekyokubiri nga kikulu nnyo nti ebitongole by'okwerinda abasirikale n'abakuumaddembe bonna n'abajasi bonna balina okimanya nti rigimu gye bagezaako okukuuma ate yinza obakozesa ensobi yo yabeegaana. Bwe bayisa gye bayita Human Rights Enforcement Act egamba nti ng'omusirikale si kintu oba omuntu wa bulijjo yenna singa okola ekikola ekitobole eddembe ly'obuntu ovunaanibwanga ggwe individual liability. Luli twawabiranga atonda ejjendo nga gavumenti ebeevunaanyizibwa. Ne kati bw'okola ensobi nawe ovunaanyizibwa muba oba sekinoomu. Kati ebitongole by'okwerinda birina okwerestraininga obutatyobola nkola yonna ne butatyobola ddembe lya muntu yenna bw'abanga avuddeyo okwenywanga eddembe lye awatali musango gwonna.
Ronald ahabwa Gntv aha Parliament. Ekitongole ekirikuvunaanyizibwa okubara abanya-Uganda omu ihanga eryitirwa Uganda Bureau of Statistics kyabuuzibwa Kasio n'omuhamuro aha nshonga z'okuremwa kushashura abakozi abayejumbiire omu kubara abanya-Uganda okwezi kwa kataano. Abamwe nibagira ngu tibakashashurwaga akasente kaabo kandi abandi bakaheebwa ebicweka aha sente zaabaraganisibwe. Katubirebe.
From the communities we come from, I see still there are some raising voices that Evas has never cleared paying their allowances.
Honorable Sasa,
I'm coming now to this. Now, from here, at the stage where it looks like the payments or the weighted items were up to date, there was even a request for repurposing to divert some of those funds and clear some of the items which maybe were not budgeted or they were budgeted, but now that's why I had the hand, but you didn't see. I wanted to ask about when they wrote for repurposing to divert some of that money, was the authority granted?
Cases of unpaid, and Chair, if I can talk to that, it is us government. And I think you'll appreciate with us that this time around we've used the e-cash. E-cash has limits. When you are giving these funds, you have to do it in batches. That means you could not release at the same time at a go. So we had to give batches. It was a lot of money. And yes, for those that maybe we've not paid as of now, it is maybe because they have mismatches in their numbers, in their names. But as of last week, we were given at least by finance, most of them were picked because we had also to rely on the cash budget. So I appreciate they are still there, but those are maybe mismatches in their numbers, and we are handling case by case. But they are very few.
Management accepted the recommendation as it has since strengthened the process from planning, implementation, monitoring, and reporting of activities. Management meets weekly to review activity implementation. Here, to me, the response is redundant because we need to know the action plan. What have you implemented? This is what you should give us to unpack for us. What have you done right from the time the audit was conducted to date, so that we know exactly how you are moving. Meeting weekly to review activity plan is not enough.
You will realize that the budget has been growing, and so is the expenditure. It would account for two things. It would account for either enhancement of salary or recruitment. But at the same time, as there's growth in the budget and growth in payments, there is also growth in there is decline in utilization, in absorption. In other words, for wage, you commit to request for funds for wage, they are provided, you under-absorb.
What we do does not only encompass permanent staff. The Bureau has a number of projects, and even those which were delayed were actually part of the projects that we had to implement. And what does it mean? It also affects the wage. So it is not only permanent, but in addition, we also had to do recruitment for the permanent structure. That is what delayed. And at that time when we were given that wage, we had to come up with an implementation plan, the recruitment plan, which we provided, and it was stipulating for the years what we have to recruit. So we followed that, and we are requesting that we complete this year to make sure that we are fully to capacity.
Members, I think we have to analyze that is a total of 30,000. I think you can read that, and 3,377, that's 99%. We are fully verified, while 3, that's 1%, did not show up, as summarized in the table below. Can you justify for these 3 which who did not appear?
The payroll.
Who are they?
They had exited the bureau for the reason of termination of their contracts, and one transferred services to KCCA. 2 were terminated, and one had transferred to KCCA. So he had to be validated in one place.
Who are they? Their names?
This was Mr. John Mayende and Mr. Henry Dixoka. Then the one who is in KCCA is Mr. Waibi Charles.
Nera, when you're reading, there's a total of 3,377. Probably that was an error by Auditor General. For our record, it is 337. So the last 7 is not there.
Okay.
And again, when you go to the table for a record, the total does not come to 440. It comes to 340. And when you add the 11, it comes to 351 for purposes of record.
Validation of short-term or temporary staff, and out of 497 employees, Uganda Bureau of Statistics February 2023 salary payroll, a total of 401, that is 81%. We are fully verified, and partially verified 196, that's 19%, did not show up as summarized in the table below. Members, you can look at that table, and can you please respond to that? Almost 19% did not show up.
So as you validate today, tomorrow you'll have a different number depending on the running projects. And so that is what happened. Some of these people had dropped off.
Ahabwa Gntv Agarikwotsya ndikirinto ni nawe mjomba.
Twagumizamu okuruga mu district ya Mbale abatura binaka mu Nyamatama bwanyuma y'okutunga amaizi marungi okuruga mu kitongole kya Electricity Regulatory Authority kandi bagira ngu ekyo nkija kuba nikibayamba omu kubeera okurungi nangwa n'okukyendeza ahantu wari zimwe ezibabire batandika kutunga
nga lyekuusa mu kisenyi kuba omuntu ne bw'omugamba nti nina poloti gye ntunda oba yiika ku bbeeyi rayisi nga ya kisenyi takyasobola kugenda kugigula. Naye obuzibu bwe buli nti NEMA enkwata gye yakikuttemu kituufu obusungu bwetaagisa, naye NEMA oba teyawadde bantu kadde kamala kweteekateeka kusobola kuva mu ntobazi zino eno. N'ekirala mulimu akasingako ennyo betuyita ba district planner, ba city planners. Ebizimbe ebimu tugenza okukirondoola nga ba city planner babiwa byayisa plan ezo ne zisobola okukola ki okugenda mu maaso. Y'ensonga lwaki ebimu weebiri ne plan ezo nga weeziri nga ziri approved ne districts, ebizimbe ne bibeeramu entobazi n'ennyanja n'emigga ne bifa. Naye okubaawo okulungi kw'entobazi butazisengamu kuleka ebitoogo bikule amazzi gasengejjwe n'emika emibi gisigaleyo wansi egitayonoona lububi luwanirira nsi eno, kossa n'okusengejja amazzi gano eno n'okukendeeza ku kibugumu ekigenda mu maaso mu nsi. Bw'ojja n'otunuulira Uganda, setup ya Uganda bweyimiridde, abantu bangi, tulina ettaka lingi eriri ebbali ebweru w'ebibuga, ebweru w'entobazi, ne bw'otambula mayiro nga 2 okuva mu Kampala olaba ettaka nga liri bare bulungi, naye entobazi ezisinza okukosebwa zezo ziri urban centered.
Ahabwa Gntv Agarikwotsya ndikirinto ni nawe mjomba.
Twagumizamu makuru agandi abakugombi amataka abamukamano w'amanya investment baragayo no kushobora enshonge ziri kuretera abanya-Uganda barukwandana nangwa no kwika habwire bwo kwitana ahabwe enshonga zo kurwanira amataka rwe kurgayo bakashaba abanya-Uganda gukorana amani okureba ngo buri umwe yayibonera itakariye barga hakurwanira amataka gatargamwe na gamwe kandi bashaba nabucuru kwataho mbyo bwebembezi okurenga bakora enshonga z'amataka batikiriza abantu kuhika ahabwire bwo kwitana batakaramwire mishango yabo katubirebe
ubwo hati y'abanya-Uganda bariyo nibacuragangire koma abashija barebya abakazi babo abakazi barebya abashija babo rero cyo kika abana kurebya abazire babo cyatara cyarumwe ubwo barukufa amataka hamwe na n'enshonga zebanza ubwo bari kugenda bakahereza abana babo amataka bakagashishagura bakagaguza bakabehindukana bakabashaba agandi rero bo abashija bakiyakana bakazi babo bakatwara ebanza endagano zabyo umbanka hamwe na za kafuna kugira ngo bakatunga za roni mwene shuminche zitire amabega umushiza akaza heru yakora esenteze arukusinikiro mukazi ngo akagure banza mukazi yakwata ebanza yabiteka umazinage nanenzo yagiteka umbyapa bahandikire umazinage umushiza karigireyo ugahati no kwita ari ya polisi bariyomba kwatera
neyunya namurabiyanga no mwana we owemyezo omukaga namwerezanga sente evidence kuri cyawo zanti namusanga nacho endagano nagifuna o video nabufuna antya obetaka eryagulibwa ebifananyi byenyumba nabifuna antya kwe mwensoni ebibete byara
bwenu kutashira bakugomya amataka okugira ngo bakatusobora ekikureta enshongezi bargayo no kutusobora ngwe ikintu kiretwa abaziro kwata abana bakabahereza amataka batabaherireho na byapa byago
abenshi emuhondano makanegenda yiyongera na munonga neretwa amataka tukachoga abasiyo bya muneretwa amataka chonga waza kugirita kama banza wagira ki no banza wagire sente wine kubanza kumanya ekikureta humuhondano kandi kugwagire kuzaho ekyagurese cyo kikaranganga ekikureta emuhondano no bworo kitaka kirahindaka obworo omumaka bwaba burumu omushija kunde omukazi kunde batakabura muhondano omukazi natanga kuruzi kureba omushija amurengata kine cyo kongeraho atanga plan B omushija atanga kureba omukazi we kubi kandi mu kuzuwa bakite byabo ninga kizaka jeshi yongeraho so emuboro bwaburi omumaka takabura muhondano ico kiri automatic kandi ekikureta obworo no kushanga nembera zensi okwere kutambura obutakora omukazi takora omujija atakora
owekinisano wamanya Francis wabingi bari kumanya nkafaza yargayo no khabara abanya-Uganda bona okugira ngo bakorese amani mingi mu bareke kushitamireryo bakesiga ebanza byabishebo bakesiga ebanza byabashiza babo ngoyireho bakore namani kweyiha umboro
mwe nabwejo nishaba abantu abarukutureba Gntv ukurigera izuba bachimani mutine kukora namani itwe ngama mukama nomanya kubona nawe memda yesa mukama nomanya njitwaterera osaku kugira ngo nano muntu akine cyo gukora yijo musako yitaka registering'a kigura akagura mu account tumaka senda tandike ka business barugomye nkondana wabo ine cyo kuchera kikakora busy tokija kusibanura ewo mukaza mishonga TV nabo kana kureba mishonga TV mukeya mukondana ekyakabiri abantu abakuhereza abaza abana babo ebintu namnonga amataka gabushanga batakozere bagume bahereze bantebekanise agwano kwakita korohereza mutabano wawe ushira kuri muhereza ugaruka umugira musharira onaka mweno shangura umuhiro tari muhire kora herezo umwana ikintu muherezo bwana nyine bwacu kandi bo bacire kiteke mu kitinasa reka kwita gahati nchagaruka wartiro mugatari waresere wartiro mbakafuna
wamanya Francis yagumiza mwaro kabara abashija hamwe n'abacyara babo mubege okwesigana ngo kubano shanga umuntu yatwara endagano y'ekibanza yaza kuriraho zakafuna umukazi we atakushimanya ninga shiyo musija atakuchimanya mwenu buryo mwa SJ mutahiwe ngobo niwe turarwanise obahondano yo maka y'ukuretwa amataka
no shanga umukazi no mushira bakoze ritakariya obarugura hamwe umushija yibirendagano yagitwara umbakafuna kuyatwirero umukazi w'umusayi ningira yatwara yundijo so nabwecho tube honest, tube hard working, kandi twege gukora namani, kandi nguko banyangore baturara bajyangu umuntu na echamaro umuntu engara nakachubake buri muntu ayejo kwekorera ekinte cye reka kureba cyeyine akozira katakake wija washanga kine yakushwera hori yo mukazi to ine contribution yo ne waresere kumwazara yo mwana utakataka nakanje na cyeyine ukashanga kine tanduka kubara byo ukozere nawe kandi uwo bikozere nawe reba ngo ubintu hubwana nyini ninjagare cyeyine yargaho ninga Clinton yargaho wabano yemerombe cikano kireminge bintu byabaro babeno bareba ngo harubwana nyine bwabyo konka kuha kubatarubwana nyine umuntu yareba ngo kintu cyacine yashitwarata niyo muhonda netariri so ninshaba abantu ababere Gntv tugende tuzoma chachi gitushabe konka tugire wire gukora tugire wire gukoronde gutwara duzi
ahabwa Gntv Agarikwotsya ndi Clinton nawe mjomba omurembo rwambarara
wabari mnonga Clinton nawe mnyano wanje murunji aga nuguto abatwinire omwabazi yogu kandi nokonjara kumanyisa ngo utakafera evening special niyo ne kurataho eriyo ne gendo misho omuchachi hano King of Kings Ministries International kandi konjara kumanyisa ngo lunch hours zakwandi zigendo misho kuihoro kubanza mpaka rwakatano kuyashamkaga mpaka shamnana rwakatano ntutwine overnight so takazifera kuyasha ibirizo mwazyo mpaka shahi 12 zakasheshe ijo twegiteho ijo shabenitwe mukamarangana ije kuherezo mukisha gwamana kandi na Sunday tubatwine services estebekansiwe ku yamba magaragawe iworyokwe nukunda kushero mukanisa no shaba ija shayibero mpaka shahina ejo first service kandi second service ninga service ya kabiri no kuyashayina necweka mpaka sham shanje necweka kuyasham nana kuyasham enda twine service ya pra extra ejo ne ya deliverance no bano shaba mukama na kuyamba oyu no burwire yine kino ndakoreba bahereza abatari bamwe na bamwe ijo twegite home service ejo kandi mnyeto nimwe mtebekansiwe service ya kuyashayi 10 necweka mpaka shayi 12 necweka yeto mnyeto wenu ryokwe aijemba sekuza omuservice ejo rije kuba nehindra magaraganyu omwizina rya Mukama Yesu Kristo mukama murungi abankumire ndi Evas Akankwasa obusenje.